AP Art History. How are you guys doing this fine day? You know what I think? I think that you guys are awesome. Anyway, let's get started here today. I have two images to go over with you guys from Tequixquiac, the Camelid Sacrum, and the Running Horned Woman, which is a pigment on rock, 6,000 to 4,000 BCE. And we'll get started here. Before we get started, though, guys, there's one thing that I do want to make sure that you understand when we're going over prehistoric art. A lot of what you hear and what you see is speculation. There's an example that we'll go over here when we go over the Camelid Sacrum. They believe in the beliefs of this society, but they can't really say for sure because I mentioned this before. There's nothing in writing, so a lot of it is speculation, and there is some foundation to it. So just keep that in mind. The reason why I say that is if you get in a situation where you're writing an essay and you start quoting things or making points that this is how it happened, this is exactly how it happened, you might be off track there. Okay, what you want to do is make sure that you word it carefully, that they believe. It isn't actually fact, like as if we had written fact down. Actually, a lot of written fact is fiction too, but the fact that it is prehistoric and there is no written reasons for this is sometimes very, very speculative. All right, let's take a look at this first one right here. This Camelid Sacrum in the shape of a canine. Now, some people have also said this is in the shape of a pig, but for our purposes, it's in the shape of a canine. Tequixquiac, Central Mexico, and this is actually located right where present-day Mexico City is, which, by the way, once we get into Mesoamerica, is also the founding city of the Aztecs, Tenochtitlan. So pretty important area right there. This was discovered in 1870 by Mexican muralist Mariano Barcena, and it is rather important in a couple of respects. One is that when it was first discovered, it wasn't like King Tut's tomb, where, hey, look, we got this beautiful thing, and it's from 14,000 BCE. Actually, it took quite a while and a bit of convincing to get people to believe that this was that old. And the development of carbon-14 did have something to do with that. Now, one of the things that people really believe is this bone is a sacrum bone, or what they also call in this society a sacred bone, and it's basically the base of your hip bone. Let me see, I think I have an image of that for you guys. Yes, right here. Okay, so this is where the sacrum would be, and in a lot of societies, even Egyptian society, this is a sacred bone. You think about it, it's at the base of the spine. It really is a very, very important bone. It supports the human torso, and it takes a great deal of physical stress. It's also located near reproductive organs. It could have been thought to transport material from the brain to the organs. So there's just isn't this society, but like I said, the Egyptian societies as well. Now, what is a camelid? A camelid is a very old species of camel, alpaca, from that family, from the camel family. So there is speculation out there also that this would have been a very important species to the people of this time, as well as perhaps the dogs were. Dogs may have been used for hunting, or perhaps the pigs. So and the importance of the pig, a domesticated pig or even a wild pig. But anyway, that is kind of a rundown. Let's see, I just want to hit a couple more things. Okay, and it was fashioned from a pelvis bone, an extinct species of the llama, which is also of the camelid family. Now, as far as the materials, they can only speculate, but flint might have been one of the instruments used. The thing with flint is that you can create a new edge on it. It isn't like a knife where you sharpen it, you actually flake a piece off and it becomes sharp again. So they are speculating that. Coyote head is also a reminder how fragmentary our knowledge of Paleolithic art is. So could be a number of interpretations of what this is, but it is entitled, for our purposes, Camelid Sacrum in the shape of a canine. Okay? Let me see if I have anything else. People from this period would have been nomadic, moving around, so this is mobile art. It would have been gathering fruits. It would have been a hunting society. So that's important as well. Okay. Okay, I want to hit on just a couple. I'm not going to hit on all these, just a couple of vocabulary words here. One of the important ones is a lintel. A lintel is a beam used to span an opening. Many people still refer to a lintel as the beam that crosses doorways. Okay, now post and lintel construction is when you have two posts, and we will cover this again later on. It's one of those terms that we use time and time again throughout the course. There are two posts, and then there's the big beam that goes across it, kind of like Stonehenge. That's a lintel stone. Okay, megalith is a massive rough cut stones, usually grouped together in circles or henges. So you can see where we're going with this. Stonehenge will be coming up very, very shortly. And the last one I'm going to touch on is terracotta, hand-baked clay. It's usually red in color, and it may be glazed and painted. Okay. And here we are with the running horned woman from Tassili, Algeria, and you're looking at 6,000 to 4,000 BCE. What you see here is a pretty clear image, but the actual image wouldn't have been that clear. When it was first discovered, they would just see faint outlines, and they actually used water, and they kind of lightly tossed water on it, and then the incised images started to come through. So this is basically a reproduction of what this image would have looked like. I think I might even have the original here in the next couple slides. Featureless face, white patterns representing raffia. Raffia is basically a material, a fiber that's indigenous to this area. The horns are shown in twisted perspective. Again, here comes that term, and we'll use it again a little bit later on when we get to Egyptian art, but it's showing frontal view and profile view at the same time. It's also called composite view. Okay. Also, I want you to notice what's going on behind her. You have, this is a dynamic pose. You can tell she's moving, she is running. And you also have some action in the background. You have some static figures, and you also have some movement. So perhaps this was during some sort of a ceremony or a ritual. Again, speculation, but it is a possibility. Found in the central Sahara. Now, originally the Sahara, thousands of years ago, would have been a savanna where it would have been lush with vegetation. So it wasn't always barren like this, and so you can see why there was maybe a very large civilization in this area at the time. Okay, twisted perspective. Okay. Also, guys, in the Schoology, you will see a link for a video on this image. Take a look at it. It's about 3 minutes long, and hopefully it will give you a little bit more insight. I would also check out the Khan Academy text on this as well. It is not a video, but it's actually a text. Those are your images for today, and I hope everybody has a real good day, and I will talk to you guys later. Later.